Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Well, it's the calm before the storm, a quiet but steamy day today. However, tomorrow things could get kind of serious around here with some severe storms. I'll have a complete forecast just ahead.
Plus, we're following breaking news as Donald Trump Jr. shares the email chain that set up the controversial meeting with a Russian lawyer. And Dr. Larry Nassar pleads guilty to child pornography charges and is likely to spend much of the rest of his life behind bars. That story does top our news at noon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evrod Cassimy. Nassar is 53 years old, and today he officially pleaded guilty to those child pornography charges. Local 4's Rob Maloney has been following this case for us all morning long. He joins us now from the Local 4 newsroom. Rod?
Yeah, good afternoon, Evrod. It has been busy today. Nassar lived in Holt, Michigan, which is just south of Lansing, so the Western Federal District Court is where he was pleading guilty today in Grand Rapids, and they are handling the corner of this Nassar prosecution. Now, Nassar made a deal with the feds in this case that is not especially popular with some. Dr. Larry Nassar showed up on the Fed's radar last September after a former patient of his, this woman, former gymnast and gymnastics coach Rachel Denhollander, did an interview with the Indianapolis Star claiming Dr. Nassar molested her during medical treatments with her mother in the room. According to federal pleadings, after that article came out, Nassar went into panic mode and threw out several computer hard drives that the feds retrieved and say they found on them thousands of child pornography images. They say he then took a Michigan State University-issued laptop filled with more child porn to a computer store and paid $49 to have the hard drive wiped clean. He then returned the empty computer to the university on September 20th, 2016, the same day the university fired him. On December 14th, the feds dropped a sealed indictment on Nassar, and then 2 days later searched his house and then arrested and charged him with obtaining, distributing, and trying to destroy child pornography. Today, he pleaded guilty to all 3 child porn counts in Grand Rapids in exchange for the feds not prosecuting him on 4 counts of child molestation. He allegedly assaulted 4 different young girls who were guests in his home and swam with him in his backyard swimming pool. When word of this deal leaked out last week, attorneys for the young women in those cases were unhappy with the deal, believing that Nassar is not being held accountable for his actions. Now, in his plea agreement, Nassar agreed to 5 to 20 years in prison on each of the 3 counts. So the jail time is up to the court's discretion. So it's likely that the judge could even go beyond the 20 years, and they're going to be holding off on that sentencing until sometime later this year. In the meantime, Nassar still has 3 criminal cases against him and also a civil case that has about 100 women who say that he molested them during medical treatments, and the court proceedings on this are likely to go on for the next year, perhaps even 2. Live in the newsroom, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All righty, Rod, thank you. Right now we want to get to breaking news in the unfolding investigation into Russian meddling in last year's presidential election. And it's coming from Donald Trump Jr. The younger Trump has released a series of emails that he exchanged with a music producer, Rob Goldstone, who reportedly arranged to have Trump Jr. meet a Russian lawyer with ties to the Kremlin. Goldstone tells Trump Jr. there is sensitive information from Russia which is supporting his father. He says the younger Trump can give the information to his father, information Goldstone calls ultra-sensitive. Now, all of this contradicts what that Russian lawyer told NBC News in an exclusive interview.
Я не знала, кто будет на этой встрече, кроме того, что мне было сказано, что в принципе, значит, со мной готов был встретиться Дональд Трамп младший.
They had the impression, it appears, that they were going to be told some information that you had about the DNC. How did they get that impression?
Знаете, может быть, у них было желание это увидеть, и они увидели из, значит, той идеи, о которой я говорила, только то, что их, может быть, интересовало.
Well, there you have it. That Russian lawyer said no when asked if she ever worked for the Russian government. Now, new questions are being raised today about the Trump administration's efforts to undo many of the regulations put in place by the Obama administration. The New York Times reports that many of the people appointed to various federal departments and charged with reviewing regulations have longstanding industry ties and potential conflicts. The report found 28 people with potential conflicts, 3 who are former lobbyists and 2 who could profit if regulations are lifted. In many cases, the administration has refused to say if appointees sought ethics waivers for work on issues that overlap their past business careers. Also in Washington this afternoon, Senate Republican leaders hope to have a revised version of health care reform ready for a vote next week. But some Republican senators are skeptical of chances for approval. Senators have been hearing from angry constituents about proposed cuts in Medicaid and other changes. Some GOP leaders back a plan to repeal Obamacare now and find a replacement later. But some senators disagree with that approach.
I think that if you wait to replace, you never replace. And there's going to take the pressure of linking them. Remember, President Trump ran saying he wanted to repeal and replace. And he had very specific things he wanted to replace with. And so I think that if we separate them two, the replace never occurs, and that will break President Trump's campaign promise.
Now, other Republican senators are suggesting working with Democrats to make changes to the current system to shore up the health insurance market. Well, turning our attention to the forecast now. Oh, man, we have, in my opinion, Paul, a beautiful day. I know it's kind of hot out there for some people, but this is how I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind heat and humidity myself. I'll go out and do yard work in weather like this, but there are a lot of people, especially those that don't have air conditioning, that this is really a tough go when it gets this humid out. And right now you can see temperatures are basically about 79, 80 degrees unless you're near the waters. The cooler spots are right along the cooler lakes. So 75 Mount Clemens, 77 over Port Huron and Sandusky. When you factor in the humidity, add about another 2-3 degrees to the temperature, and it actually feels like in most areas that have temperatures right now near 80, it feels like it's in the low to mid 80s right now. And as the temperature gets up to about 85 degrees for a high today, well, that'll make it feel like it's closer to 90. All right, here's the big setup. Now down here, you think it's hot and humid now. It's even more hot and humid down to the southwest. Later tonight, that makes a move our way, and that will start triggering some showers and storms. But back to the west here, we have a cold front. This is coming down our way tomorrow night. And not only the timing of the weather that's coming in tomorrow night, but also the type of weather that comes in tomorrow night is going to be kind of disturbing to some of you. So we're going to have a complete timeline for you, and I will show you exactly what to expect and when to expect it, all coming up in just a few minutes. Evrod?
We are going to enjoy this humidity while we have it. Paul, thank you. Let's get to a story that's developing right now in Mississippi as investigators continue searching for answers after this plane crashes, sadly killing 16 service members. The KC-130 tanker jet belonged to a U.S. Marine Reserve unit based in New Orleans. It took off from a Marine Air Station in North Carolina and went down last night in a farm field in Mississippi. You're looking at the wreckage from that plane crash. Air traffic controllers say the plane had a structural failure at 20,000 feet and unfortunately plunged to the ground, crashing and burning. Back here at home now, and the search is on for answers after a man was found shot and killed inside of a BMW. This was the scene this morning on Detroit's west side, right at Tireman near the Southfield Freeway. Sources tell us officers in the area heard gunshots, and that's when they found that victim in the car. And there's that black BMW. Investigators are talking to possible witnesses, but it's unclear at this hour if any arrests have been made. Federal drug enforcement agents and Oakland County police officers made a major drug raid in Novi last night and found a large heroin stash. All told, almost 90 pounds of heroin was found in a condo right near 13 Mile and Meadowbrook in Novi. Here's what we know. Officers and agents found several bricks believed to contain heroin inside of the condo as well as inside of that car. We've also found out that 3 men have been arrested. They've been arrested and charged with possession of heroin with intent to distribute. Harrison Township could soon be home to a major component of the U.S. military. Selfridge Air Force Base is pushing for the government to bring a fleet of fighter jets here to Metro Detroit. Local 4's Nick Monticelli is in Harrison Township with this new effort.
Good afternoon. This delegation, these 40 officials from the United States Air Force, arrived here at Selfridge at about 8:30 this morning, and they're still going through all of this. We should hear pretty soon from those inside about how things went. In the meantime, though, they've got a pretty strong argument on why this should be home to those F-35s.
The F-35 actually is pretty amazing.
Brigadier General Doug Slocum doesn't even try to hide it. He says the new F-35 fighter jet is about as cool as it gets. But what would be even cooler if the F-35 called Selfridge home? For months, the base in Macomb County has been campaigning, fighting really, to make Selfridge a contender for the new jet. Now it is one of 5 finalists across the country. And today, 40 leaders from the United States Air Force will visit to see if this could be a suitable home.
And it's a pretty big deal. They're going to collect information about our base that they're going to take back to the decision makers.
Right now, Selfridge has the A-10s, but Slocum says the F-35s would replace those. He also says Selfridge is a perfect fit with the right infrastructure, airspace, capacity, and the people.
Very little needs to change on this base to accommodate the F-35, and that's one of our great strengths. We're going to have to do some training for our people, will probably be the biggest part.
As you know, Selfridge has faced the threat of closure before, but if this comes here, closing will be off the table.
We're going to put that to rest probably for the next 30 years if we become the leading edge of the defense of our country and of our state.
All right, so what happens from now? This delegation will go back to Washington, D.C. They'll put together their findings and make reports to their bosses. And then sometime in either August or early September, they'll make decisions, I should say, on which 2 bases get the F-35s. At Selfridge, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
And we'll be waiting to see if it ends up there. Nick, thank you. So to come here on Local 4 News at noon, an active duty soldier in Hawaii accused of supporting ISIS. And now his father is speaking out. The big question is, were there any warning signs? Plus 14s disappear without a trace. Are police any closer to finding out what happened to them? And as we go to break, we do want to recap some breaking news that we've been following for you this afternoon. As Larry Nassar's plea agreement has been released, Nassar will face 5 to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine for each count. In exchange, he'll be prosecuted. He will not be prosecuted for child sexual exploitation. But again, Nassar pleading guilty to child porn. We're back in a minute.
Hi.
Welcome back. Progress now in the search for 4 missing young men out of Pennsylvania. The 4 disappeared within just a few days of each other, and police are saying they do suspect foul play. They've even been focusing their efforts in farmland, a farmland area just north of Philadelphia. Investigators believe their team is getting closer to solving this case.
The leads are incredibly hot. They're very fruitful. We're making great progress.
Now, that progress includes the arrest of a 20-year-old man on unrelated weapons charges, but police are saying that he is a person of interest in this case of the missing men. The FBI has also joined Pennsylvania State Police and local investigators in this case. An active duty soldier in Hawaii now facing terrorism charges, accused of supporting ISIS. Sergeant First Class Ikaika Kang appeared in federal court in Honolulu on Monday. He's accused of trying to provide classified documents to ISIS. Investigators say that Kang also told an undercover federal agent that he wanted to kill a bunch of people. Kang had just recently converted to the Muslim faith, according to his father.
Other than teaching or learning that belief, there was no mention of him going astray.
FBI investigators say no classified documents actually ended up in the hands of ISIS, and they do believe that Kang was acting alone. Well, there was a lot of tension in Mosul today, a day after Iraq's prime minister declared total victory over ISIS in the city. Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi made his second visit to Mosul Monday night. He formally declared victory over ISIS in Mosul while waving a national flag. But 9 months of fighting has now taken a heavy toll on that city, leaving large areas in ruins, killing thousands of civilians and displacing about 900,000 others. All right, still to come here on Local 4 News at noon. If your eyes turn red after swimming in a pool, chlorine might not be the culprit. We'll tell you what to watch out for. Paul?
Well, Evrod, things are pretty quiet right now, but things are going to get rather concerning tomorrow with pretty substantial severe threats. I'll have some very detailed maps and a timeline for you. We'll help you plan. Stay with us. I'll be right back.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's get into good health. Do your eyes turn red after going swimming in a public pool or maybe even at the water park? Well, optometrists at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention now warn that the chlorine might really not be the culprit, but what could be is actually a lot nastier than that. They say that the red eyes in swimmers might be the result of urine, sweat, and dirt mixing in with chlorine.
It causes extreme dryness to the eyes, and also the chemicals cause a chemical allergy to the eye.
Oh, gross. If you are going swimming today especially, doctors say that you can always put on a pair of goggles before you jump into the water. But can you believe that, Paul?
Oh, I can believe it. I just didn't want to hear it. Oh, man, that makes me think twice about jumping in the pool ever again. All right, speaking of taking a dip in the water, here's the river. You don't swim in the river, of course. They don't allow it. The current is too strong. But you can still see some of the haziness in the air. We have a lot of humidity around. We've had a lot of fog this morning. Temps basically upper 70s to low 80s right now. The humidity is making you feel a couple 3 degrees warmer than this. So let's take a look at satellite radar. Nothing coming at us in terms of a storm. You can see this cluster is moving to the southeast. We just have some clouds here across at least the southern half of the area, a little more sun to the north. So what I'm going to do is shift right over to the computer model right now. I'm going to spend a lot of time on this because you need to pay attention. This is some serious business. Now, first of all, this afternoon, late this afternoon, could be a couple of showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms that pop up. The best chance is Monroe and Lenawee counties. You're just closer to that real deep moisture and that warmer air. So keep an eye out for those. But again, as you can see, as you move north, not a lot going on. So things for most of us will be pretty quiet this afternoon. Again, down near the state line and down in Lenawee, Monroe County, you need to watch out. So we're quiet tonight. Here we have some storms that come through tomorrow morning. These are not the severe storms that we're going to be telling you about here. This is just some torrential downpours, lightning for sure, something that'll get your attention. And notice the time. Yeah, morning rush hour. That's not good news either. So that's the morning. Now this stuff will end eventually. We'll get a break. Could be a couple of pop-up storms in the afternoon tomorrow. Any one of those could become severe, but notice there's not much coverage here. The main event that you need to pay attention to is tomorrow night. Couple of things we need to talk about. You have this cluster of storms here and then this line here. There's a cold front here. That's going to bring a widespread area, but far out ahead of the front. Any cluster of storms that develops far out ahead of the front could become a supercell. In other words, it could start rotating, and that could introduce a tornado threat. So we'll have to watch anything that develops out ahead of the line. But then once that line comes through, this is more widespread, but it's less of a tornado threat and more of a severe wind gust and hail threat. This whole thing goes through late tomorrow night. And you can see we're in the slight risk area for severe storms for tomorrow night. This is really the nation's bullseye, the highest risk for tomorrow in terms of severe weather. Just a marginal risk down Lenawee, Monroe counties on Thursday. And I think even that will be eventually pushed a little further south. 85 the high. It's going to feel like 90 today. Tomorrow it'll be actually near 90, and it's going to feel like the mid-90s. We also have the 25th concert of colors starting tomorrow evening. Could be an issue with those storms, but once we get past Thursday, we are dry through the weekend now, it looks like, and that may continue through the end of the coming week, Evrod, with temps by next week approaching 90 again.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. Paul, thank you. So to come, it's an amazing story of survival from the wilds of Idaho. We're going to tell you how one dog lived through a tumultuous situation.